I'm Robert Pattinson. I'm the Batman. Was that any good?
It was really good, actually.
Yeah. It looked stupid.
No, it was really good.
How many fucking times can they make a Batman movie?
They can make it as many times as they want, as long as it keeps selling. And this one sold like gangbusters. So guess what? There's going to be another one.
God damn it.
Yep. And to be quite honest, Paul Dano as the Riddler, he stole the show.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, he was fantastic.
Batman's like I said, how many times can you redo fucking Batman? This is like the what?
A million times.
Fourth or fifth iteration of Batman now?
Yeah.
Are they gonna do like they did with fucking Spooderman and bring all the old Batmans back?
Probably not. I mean, they could.
This is why I hate superheroes.
There is a plan to bring Michael Keaton back as Batman in the Flash movie.
Of course there is.
Because he's going to be old Bruce Wayne. So, yeah.
I'm surprised they're even going to still do a Flash.
Maybe.
Isn't there controversy with Ezra Miller?
They might end up... They might end up recasting him, yeah.
John Leguizamo.
I just recently saw Spawn because he was the clown on Spawn.
How ironic.
I just can't believe it was him.
But hey, everybody!
Hey, guys.
That had nothing to do with anything.
Nothing.
Welcome back to Power Trip Gaming Retrospectives.
Welcome back.
We are doing Batman. Game 59.
You really had to look at that.
I did.
Wow. Okay.
You do realize that these are 180 games ago.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
59.
I couldn't think of anything funny to say right there. That's why I was just staring at you.
Let's say, as of this video, we've done 233
Holy
fucking games. So 180 something games ago this was. You believe it?
Where's my life gone?
I don't view it that way. I view it as I'm happy we've actually managed to topple that many titles.
Yeah, we're officially past a third of the collection.
Yeah.
Wow.
There are probably people who can never say they've beaten 200 games.
Oh no, there's a lot of people who probably can't say that. Yeah.
So, and that's just Nintendo. Like, that's not even all our own personal collection.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our personal collection, but that's pretty.
No, I know what you mean.
Cute.
Other games that you've beaten that are not
NES.
NES. Yeah, I got it.
Yes, but I had to look it up.
Okay. Fair enough.
Thank you.
Fair enough.
Motherfucker. You couldn't pluck a title out of the air and tell me what number it was.
I most certainly could. Little Samson. 1.
Narc.
2.
You son of a bitch.
Nice try, though.
Metal Gear.
231.
Fuck. All right, you got me. Fair enough. So yes, it's Batman the video game for the NES.
Came out in 1989. Yeah. I remember, or was it? It was 89, right?
Yeah, that's around there.
No, I'm sorry. It was 90 because the movie came out in 89.
I think it was 89 for Japan.
And the game came out in 1990. I remember it was very early on because it was one of the cover stories of a Nintendo Power issue.
I remember that.
And it was huge because at the time, Batman the movie was like... It was
the big hot thing,
man. It was the big movie.
Yeah, not only did they have it here, but then they ended up releasing a Batman game, I guess, that kind of followed the movie on the Genesis. Yep. And they also had one on the Game Boy, which I think the Game Boy did not follow the movie as closely as any of the other.
I don't think so. Well, I mean, the Nintendo game didn't really either.
No, not really. Considering the NES version, if... Most people know that Joker's the main villain.
Yeah.
He was not actually intended to be the villain of this one. It was going to be Firefly, who was the guy you fought before Joker.
Yeah.
And then you were going to defeat Joker in a cutscene.
Ah.
But they were like, let's make it follow the movie.
We gotta have Joker.
So then you have a very fucking hard Joker fight.
Yeah.
With the joke long gun. Because I love that gun. It's so fucking funny. But yes, it's Batman. It basically... it's Batman in the movie, but not really. You fight things that are... I guess the minions are more DC villains than the actual bosses are.
There's like actual minions throughout the levels that you fight that are modeled after some of the comic book characters, like Deadshot's in there, the KG Beast, which I want to say KG Beast started around like the mid '80s, so it was like kind of right on that cusp.
Yeah. So I mean, it's funny that the smaller enemies were more
comic book related
than the actual boss. Like, was Electrocutioner an actual villain?
Not that I'm aware of, but I almost wonder if it's more so that Sunsoft wanted to create like their own villains or own like end bosses. Like, they didn't want to be inspired, or they didn't want to copy an existing villain.
Yeah, because I mean, Sunsoft's a pretty good developer. They've created some very good titles on the NES.
Sunsoft was probably hitting their stride at around this point. Like, this is... I almost feel like this may have been the game that put Sunsoft on the map. Even though Blaster Master had already come out, but this really kind of, like, elevated them.
Yeah, I would say, because this is a very well-known title on this system.
Very much so.
It's one of those where it's... I don't know if it would be in everybody's collection, but more often than not, I'd say you would see
I think so, especially if you were a comic book fan,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah. And it's one of those, it's kind of like a Battletoads, where it's known for being difficult, and it's one of those where it's
one of those
it's a pretty well-known title.
It's one of those, too, that I honestly think that people, like, it's touted as being one of the hardest on the system, and it's by no means is it. It's hard, but it's not...
It's no walk in the park.
It's not a walk in the park, but it's also, I would not classify this as being one of the hardest on the system.
God, no.
No.
We have tackled a lot harder than this fucking game.
Very much so.
It's that thing that we always come back to, where it's people, I think it's one of the hardest because they just haven't played, I would say, 80 to 90% of the rest of the library for the system. So they don't know what's out there. Or
they will take at face value what somebody says, or like a video, or somebody like on a website or something like that. Somebody says that this is a hard game, so they just kind of jump onto that and say, "Oh yeah, I remember playing that as a kid. Yeah, that game is impossible."
Yeah,
and it's like, no, not really.
Or like AVGN kind of stigma, where somebody touts about how hard it is. Like, I think AVGN did one on Rambo. And saying that game was insanely difficult, and
it's not. It's actually super easy. Super easy.
Yeah. So it's like this, I think, kind of falls into the same thing, where it just gets that notoriety that kind of doesn't deserve, but kind of does at the same time, because it's, like I said, it's not really that super easy.
Well, I guess getting into it then, what do you give the game for difficulty?
So it's unlimited continues, which is nice. You get 3 different weapons that Batman can use: the Batarang, the Batpoon, and
the gun.
Yeah, there's another thing.
Just the gun.
Well, the thing that shoots the 3 is called the Batapoon.
No
joke. Yeah, it's supposed to be like a harpoon, but they call it Batpoon.
You've got a gun. You've got that
gun and a Batpoon.
Yeah, and then you got the bat gun. You've got the Batpoon, and then you've got the Batarang.
Just I'm saying Batpoon.
That's so weird. That's so literally what it's called.
Yeah.
Batapoon.
Batapoon.
Okay. Why not?
Which all have a shared weapon supply.
Okay.
With with varying strength. Otherwise, you got punches, kicks. The levels themselves are not terrible, but still not super easy.
I would say some of them can be quite treacherous to traverse, but...
Yeah, but overall, I feel it's middle of the road. Maybe creeps up to that 6 against the Joker.
I would go up to a 6 just because of the bosses.
The bosses can be kind of rough.
I think the reason why I could not give this more than that is because of the fact that it is unlimited continues.
Yes.
You literally it just comes down to basically just persevering over it.
I suppose if it had been like Passwords, 5 would have been probably more of where it would land. But unlimited continues in general.
Why with Passwords?
Because you could always come back to it.
Yeah, but even with unlimited continues, you can't, but you could just play it as long as you want to. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, actually, I think 6 probably would.
Yeah.
Probably more
I think
or
it's
less.
Honestly, I think it is just above the middle of the road. Some of the levels are hard. The controls take a little bit of getting used to.
He's a little
especially
flaky.
since I do like the fact that you have a little bit of Ninja Gaiden in the sense that he can jump off of walls, because that honestly feels like what Batman can do. But in and of it itself, that can make some of the areas very difficult. But to be quite honest, I don't think any of the bosses were really like all that difficult, except for Joker
who dealt a shit ton of damage.
A lot of damage.
Yeah, and it was that lightning bolt.
Yeah.
The lightning bolts that he would use. Because, and even his gun, I think, took off a shit ton of health. It was, I think, more or less touching him to get the damage boost was the way to go.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, but
he was not easy. I don't even think Firefly was all that easy either.
I feel like I feel like there was something that we did that, like, we glitched out the game and defeated Firefly that way.
I don't know. All I know is
thought that there was something.
The game is kind of generous in the fact that that final level is kind of rough to begin with.
Yeah,
that's all because you have to do that vertical ascent, hopping back and forth.
I remember that. Yeah.
Once you defeat Firefly, every subsequent time you get to the boss, you go straight to Joker. You don't have to fight Firefly again.
I remember that.
So that was intentional. That was intentional. Yeah. I guess that was programmed in there, so that wasn't a glitch or anything. But yeah, the bosses themselves were pattern. I mean, it took getting used to, but even Joker was he had such small windows of where you had to be in order to avoid attacks, and knowing when he was going to come at you, and all this stuff. Like that whole last level is just fucking rough.
It's brutal, but I think that's actually, as far as difficulty goes, that's all I can really remember was that last level. I don't think that anything else was really all that difficult about this game.
And I think maybe that's why the game gets the notoriety that it does.
Maybe it does.
Because Joker, I seem to remember a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, that fucking Joker fight."
Yeah.
Because every time you died, you didn't. Well, yeah, you did. No, you had to go through the level.
No, you had to go through the level.
Yeah. Yep. Rough.
Yeah.
He was rough.
Could be.
But yeah, otherwise Batman his attacks are a little stilted. Unless you use, like, the Batarang to get the extra distance, because I seem to remember a lot of enemies taking more than 1 or 2 hits.
It did. His punch was pretty good, but the fact that the Batarangs could actually go through the walls, that helped out. Yes. That helped out with a lot of the enemies, and you got that extra distance as well.
There were health pickups, weren't there?
Yes,
there
were.
Yeah. So, I guess you got... Yeah, 6 feels right.
Oh, yeah.
As far as that goes, because none of the enemies themselves were really all that tricky. The Hoppy dude, I remember, was kind of a pain in the ass, but otherwise, like, most of the soldier guys and the tanks and stuff, where you just kind of get stay out of their shot.
Exactly.
And kick them in the dick, and you beat it.
Yeah.
But I think the Hoppy dudes...
Well said.
Thanks. Very succinctly put. I think the Hoppy dudes were more of the hardest ones because you needed a sub-weapon.
I remember they were all in the, like, the 3rd level.
Yeah.
Was you were in the sewers, I think.
Yeah.
In that level. That's where a lot of the Hoppy guys were. And yeah, that, to me, that was a difficult level too. But it's nothing that couldn't have been overcome.
No. So. Especially with the unlimited continues.
Yeah.
So that feels right.
So what do you give the game for fun?
I'm not a fan of Batman. I don't like Batman. I think he's a lame-ass superhero. If you can even call him a superhero. He's just a dude.
Well, he's a superhero, but he's not like...
He's not really super.
He doesn't have... Yeah, he doesn't have...
An inherent power. Yeah.
His inherent power is he's rich.
Cool.
I'm just saying, that's
I know.
Like, for real. It's like that's literally it.
How long do you think it's going to take for Elon Musk to become Batman?
I give it 5 years.
Ridiculous.
That's a power trip promise.
I can see that happening. Oh God. But putting Batman aside, it's actually a pretty solid platformer. The wall jumping is cool. I do like that you get the different weapons. The stages do feel pretty unique. Some of the enemies are recycled here and there. The music is good. I remember the music being really good because, Sunsoft had usually a pretty good...
Had great music.
Yeah, it had great music. So, for me, I'd say it's above middle of the road. 6. 6 for now, I guess, depending on where you go.
So I'm kind of almost leaning towards like a 6 or possibly I'm thinking more of a 7 actually.
Ooh.
Just because of the fact that this game was honestly it was really good. As far as the graphics looked fantastic.
Yeah,
Batman looked like Batman.
And there, if I remember right, there were cutscenes.
There, and I'm going to get to that. There were fantastic cutscenes.
Yeah.
So Batman looked like Batman. He used all the gear that he ever has, which it's funny because I think we even made a comment about using the gun. And they're like, did Batman ever use a gun? He actually did. When he was first created, he actually used a gun. So you had a little bit of that. You had the batarangs, of course. I would have loved.
And Batman also had a gun at the end of the Justice League movie. The Snyder cut in that post-apocalyptic scene when he's got the shotgun.
Oh, right. That was,
Stupid.
Yeah, sorry. So, but anyways, the level designs were very clever.
Yeah,
and,
they were
and
good.
it took full inspiration from the abilities that you had, like the wall leaping and all that. So it really did a great job with that. Every environment felt different. You felt like you were in a different kind of level. Mm-hmm. There's one where you're in like the sewers, one where you look like you're in a warehouse. There's the ascent up the level to get to Firefly and the Joker. The music is just absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
And the cutscenes. If anybody takes away anything from this game or remembers anything, it's the cutscenes. It's that this game really rivaled basically what Ninja Gaiden did with cutscenes, where it had some really detailed cutscenes. Where Joker really looked like Jack Nicholson.
Yes, he looked really good.
I can't remember what her character's name was, but Kim Basinger looked like Kim Basinger. It's you had a great story that was, I think for the most part, the cutscenes were very faithful to the movie, even though the levels themselves couldn't be terribly close to the movie because it had to be a game first and foremost. So, but you combine everything with that. There was nothing that I think that we got overtly frustrated with. Mm-mm. So I remember it being a fantastic game, and I honestly, the fact that you have the unlimited continues means that you can really enjoy it, even if you make stupid mistakes and you're learning along the way. It doesn't punish you as a result of that. That you have those unlimited continues. It's not just you have 3 tries and then you're back to the beginning of the game. It's you have as many times as you need to in order to learn it and then continue progressing. So I think it was actually very well done, and I would lean towards that 7 for this game, because this game, it really was monumental at the time too, as far as like licensed tie-in games.
Oh, absolutely.
Very faithful. Nintendo Power did that full spread on it, and it looked gorgeous, and it sounded fantastic.
I don't think by this point, because when was this? Did you say
1990? I want to say it was like February of 1990.
Maybe Die Hard was. No, when was Die Hard?
1992.
Okay, yeah, and Die Hard was probably one of the pinnacle
most faithful
as far
as movie tie-in.
Yeah, and as far as the cutscenes go, I remember them, but I don't remember a whole lot of context to the cutscene. It wasn't quite like Ninja Gaiden, where it felt like a movie.
Well, it felt like
Ninja Gaiden had probably
there was a lot of scenes. Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden was very story heavy, which I remember in our playthrough we were like, holy shit, I don't remember any of this, and it was incredible as far as the storytelling goes.
It was almost like a motion comic.
Yeah, it was really fucking cool. But and I remember this one did have cutscenes, but I don't remember them being quite that context heavy. Mm-hmm. I just remember the final scene doesn't Joker fall off the cathedral?
I can't remember if he falls off the cathedral. Maybe.
I feel like I remember he does, but maybe not. But either way, I remember the whole ending scene of the dance with the devil in the pale moonlight.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like that was awesome, and it looked just like it. Yeah. Like, it looked fantastic. Mm-hmm. So I agree with you. Like some of the detail that they did was outstanding.
Yeah, they did a great job with what they had.
Yeah,
and you get it's a decent length too. If you're playing through it, it's gonna take you like 2-3 hours. It's a really good length for a game too. You don't get burned out, and it's not too short that it's just forgettable. It was right in that sweet spot,
especially for a platformer.
Oh yeah,
because the last thing you want on a platformer is for that game to feel like a fucking slog, like Adventure Island.
Oh god.
Adventure Island was like
Just
5
kept-
worlds too fucking much.
Just kept going and going and going. Yeah.
So this one did feel like it was right in that sweet spot where it was just enough levels to feel long enough, but not too many to where you got bored with it. Mm-hmm. And it was challenging enough.
And, oh, definitely.
But nothing that felt cheap.
And you never got sick of that music.
Never.
I tell you right now, no,
No.
you could be stuck on a level, but it didn't matter because it was such a great soundtrack.
Yeah, and I'm willing to agree with a 7 on that for fun because there was a lot. This game has a lot to offer.
It has a lot to offer, and there's a lot to love for this game.
Especially for, like you said, like a movie license tie-in. I mean, we've played some real shit when it comes to movie license tie-ins.
Oh, yeah.
So for this one to be as faithful as it was, that definitely gets an extra point in my book.
Definitely.
I will 100% bump that cock up there. So, that's a 6 for difficulty, a 7 for fun. Paul, what did you...
Nope, I'm just curious if I still have the... Where is it? Oh, no, I don't. I don't still have the price tag on it.
Oh.
I got it.
What did you pay for Batman the video game?
So for Batman the video game, I'm pretty sure that I got that one at GameStop when they were still selling games because it was one that I got early on, and so I probably paid $1.99 to $2.99 for it. I don't know, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was less than $3.
That's not too bad.
So,
So, as of this video on PriceCharting.com, Batman the video game goes for $13.09. Sorry, $13.69. Can't read.
Thank God. I love it when they're like that because, yes. That's worth it.
100%. And...
Jinx.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
I don't think... I can't really think of many other avenues to play this game other than the cartridge.
The cartridge, but you know what? It's cheap. There's millions. This game sold millions of copies.
Yeah. Movie license games usually did.
Like I said... This game really, even though there was already some hits under their belt with Sunsoft, I mean, they had Blaster Master. Fester's Quest, whether you like it or not, was a hot game at the time.
Oh, I know it is.
And so that was Sunsoft as well, too. But this game really put them into that same conversation as Sunsoft is along the lines of a Capcom or a Konami or a Hudson Soft. I think it did. I think this game really elevated it to that level.
Maybe
not Konami.
I would think more like
Capcom,
Taito or
I would say like a Hudson Soft.
Okay.
More like a Hudson Soft, but it really, like...
It was well known, but not quite AAA.
It was no longer just, like, another one of those licensee companies. Right. It's just Sunsoft made great games.
They made a name for themselves.
Yes.
It wasn't... It wasn't, like, you hear, like, Jaleco or Radical Acclaim, where it's, like, all these bad games come to mind. Like, Sunsoft... You think that company, you think
good
Blaster
games.
Master, Batman, Fester's Quest, like you think good quality games.
That is like a Taito then.
Yeah, Taito is the same thing. It's like
they weren't top tier level, but you knew to expect a good time when you had a Sunsoft game.
I would agree with that. But yes, $13.69 all day.
Definitely.
All day.
$13.68.
Whatever. 69. $13.69.
Oh, I thought you said 68.
Jesus.
My bad.
Honestly, I'm surprised it still only goes for that much.
I'm surprised it's not more, but then again, I'm not surprised because the game is, this is one of those games that you will always see at... If there is ever anybody selling Nintendo games or NES games, this is one that you're going to see in there. It's just because there was just so many copies of this game.
Oh, yeah. This is one, more often than not, you would see it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It is not uncommon by any means. It is one of the more common games on the system, but it's good.
Yeah. Because, let's see. You got Batman Return of Joker, $77.
That seems a little
Batman Returns is $30 right now.
I'm surprised that those two aren't flipped because you see Return of the Joker a lot more than you see Batman Returns.
Yeah, you do. And Batman the video game would be the cheapest one.
Yep, $13.
So that's still in the realm of 100% yes.
Yeah.
Like this game, you'll get a decent challenge. You get a decent length, good quality. I mean, you can't go wrong.
No, you truly can't.
I would say that's definitely worth it. 100%.
Definitely. Yeah.
So there you guys go.
All right.
6 for difficulty, 7 for fun.
It is worth it.
For $17, baby.
$16.89.
Yeah. $13.69.
$13.69.
Jesus Christ.
Well, why did you say $18?
I said.
You said what?
There you go. God, we're getting old. I can't remember anything.
Bungled. So that'll do it. So hit us up on Facebook.
Hit us up on Twitter.
Go to powertripgaming.tv. It'll take you right to the channel where you can watch all of our other actual NES playthroughs and our side quest material as well.
That is right. The link in the description will take you directly to the Batman playthrough where you can watch us conquer it and boom, put it out of its misery.
Yes. You can also check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify to listen to the PTG Powercast, where we talk about video games, comic books, pop culture stuff, whatever we feel like.
Whatever comes to mind. And if you don't feel like contacting us on social media, you can always shoot us an email at nespowertrip@gmail.com.
I'm proud of you. You got it.
Thank you.
All right. So next time on Power Trip,
we'll review something better.
Hopefully that's true.
It's not.
Oh, no.
Sorry, buddy. I hate to burst your bubble. Your Batman bubble.
Don't burst my bubble.
But it's not going to be.
It's not good.
Sorry, the next few are going to be